Okay, so I'm gonna try and talk. But I'm having a hard time with that right now because, I don't know, it's just really easy for me to, be knocked down and yeah. And then I just feel really small really easily and just like insecure and like I can't breathe. I can't be. I can't exist, and I have a lot of feelings right now. I don't know why I'm like literally so entranced by the rain right now either. I'm not even high, but I'm very like enchanted by the rain right now. And there's just like this wheelbarrow in the middle of the puddle, and it's so funny. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if you could see that, but it's just like I was outside with this my second cousin, my friend's kid, who's 11, and it flooded, and then it was just like this big lake in the backyard, and then it froze over, and then he was out there. He wanted me to come out with him to like walk in it and see if you could walk on it, but the ice was breaking at that point, and then he was just walking in the puddle, and it was funny. And then he brought the wheelbarrow, and he was like using the wheelbarrow as like a little boat, and then almost fell in, and then he just left the wheelbarrow there, and then it was kind of just like in this lake puddle, and now it's more of a puddle, but it's just funny to me. I don't know what that could represent. Because, you know, I always gotta be like, what does this mean? This is what happens when you question life and your existence and existing so much, and then you watch a bunch of tarot and stuff and things. I like half made this video because I was like, wow, I'm so emotional, I should just like record this and see what comes out, because I feel like I need to get things out so like things will come out, but it's just like tears and rain right now, which doesn't surprise me in a way because I feel so in sync with weather sometimes. I've said this a dozen times, and I'm having trouble like talking and not a whisper right now. It's really hard. It sucks because I feel like, you know, I'll try and get out of it, and I try and get out of it, and I try and get out of it, and then someone just knocks me down, and it just takes one little, and I just go all the way back down. Like Chutes and Ladders or something. Which is funny because in that game, you know, too, it's like, you know, I don't know, I guess they're the same pace, but like with a ladder, it's like, I don't know if a ladder is as fast as a slide, you know, like sliding down is always so much quicker than going up. You know, I'm just remembering this kid, and he was always like climbing up the slide, which you're not supposed to do, but it's kind of fun. And then I'm like, am I trying to climb up a slide? I definitely just watched like this whole tarot reading thing that's very like hippie, and it just messed with me, but I've also been feeling like that. I can't help it anymore. But it's just messing with my head a lot because I told my cousin it just feels like this like psychotic butterfly effect where it's like every little thing I do matters and I can't handle it because it just makes me question every little thing like too much. I wish I could like position the camera in like the way that I like, so it's like this, but the only way I can really do it like this angle right now is if I just hold it, which is kind of annoying. My skin looks like it's getting better. Kind of. Sometimes I swear I just sit in this dining room and I keep looking at this fucking Alice in Wonderland clock and it's just like, when am I gonna get out of this rabbit hole? And then Cheshire Cat is just up there looking at me like, never. I don't know what the fucking Cheshire Cat says. It's all in my head. It's all up to me. I have to battle a psychotic Queen of Hearts person. That's like me. Everything's feeling very mirror. I'm literally thinking so many things right now. And I'm telling myself that for my own sanity too, but it's just true. Like, it's eclipse season, so, you know, it is what it is right now. And I think I already put too much pressure on it, so I'm mad at myself, but whatever. And it's just like the eclipse is on the 8th, and I'm big on 8s. So is my friend that I don't talk to. Fucking God. And April is my month, and I don't know. I really don't know. 31 just sounds like a lame age to turn, but whatever. Like, I'd rather turn 30, but not, because 30 is like a big deal. 31's kind of like whatever, but it's kind of like another hammer in the nail of like, what have we progressed at with 30? Nothing. more dirty. More skirty, like skirt, and more flirt, and more, I don't know any more rhymes. I don't know what to do with myself right now. I almost really want to walk in the rain, but I don't have any wet-proof shoes. It's like, really, I mean, there's part of me that's like, it's raining, this is a stay indoors day, but I'm almost like, I need to go on a walk. I need to go on a walk or I'm going to die. And I like walking in the rain sometimes. And what if my shoes get wet? So what? And then I'll just, take a bath or something. I should eat, but I didn't feel like eating. I stayed up till 5 talking to my friend last night in California. It was like, I stayed up till 5, and that's why my neighbors got mad, because they heard me talking all night. And it sucked though, because I tried to go to the basement so I didn't be too loud, and I didn't want to wake up my cousin, because I probably would have kept him up talking in the living room. So I went in the basement, and I tried to be quiet, and it's just, sometimes it just feels like it's never enough, and you're always bothering somebody, and you're always in the way, and you're just always too much, and you're too loud. I didn't even feel like I was being that loud. It's more just sometimes I just feel like I'm just supposed to act like I don't exist, and the minute I do, it's a problem. And sometimes I just want space. I just want space to be alone and be myself, because everybody's always judging you, so you just feel like you can't be yourself until you're alone. And it's hard to be alone here. It was one of the first things I was afraid of. Because at least where I was in Cali, it was really out in the woods, so there was a lot of places you could go to kind of be alone. And even then it was hard though. But here it's kind of darn near impossible. There's nowhere you can walk, or someone's not going to walk by or drive by. And I was more used to it when I lived here, but then when I tasted the life of not that, when you can actually find a spot on the cliffs or the woods or the beach where there's nobody, it's amazing, and I miss it. I miss my little cabin where I didn't have neighbors, and even then sometimes my friend fucking would blast the music too loud, and I'd be like, no, my landlords still live, down the hill, they're gonna be mad at me. And I still have so much more space as opposed to here, where it's it's a typical Connecticut 3-story house. There's so many of them. Look, it's all of them, and they're broken in. They're big houses broken into 3 different apartments on a first floor, a second floor, and a third floor. And the walls are super creaky and old, and you just hear everything all the time, and you hear everybody all the time. And it's annoying. This shit, it makes me feel like I can't be myself in this apartment all the time. Connecticut's hard, man. It's at least in this guy I know's building in the Bronx, it's the walls are pretty thick. You don't really hear everybody else as much, but you usually always have a fucking roommate. I just trying to exist is such a hard battle, I swear to God. It really is. But then I have to comfort myself with that and remind myself it's hard for even my friend, she can be pretty loud, but at the same time she's a kid, and then the kid was asleep, so she was out smoking cigarettes, trying not to wake up her kid. It's just there's always something. And Alexa is always listening. Can't even say their name without them fucking perking their ears, and they're listening no matter what. I was literally in the basement having this phone call, and I made a joke about, like, when I was with this guy in the Bronx, and, like, he'll do this goofy thing where he's like, Lexi, Play, white people music. Because he's super Mexican, I don't know, but he, like, likes white people music a lot, too, just on his own. That sounds very, I don't know, but, sometimes, like, just stop hitting on generalizations, people. It's just like, I'm just trying to compare things here. It's not a sin. But I was talking about that in the basement, and Lexi heard me from upstairs and just started playing this music really loud because the volume was just already up loud. They played the Chainsaw Man anime theme song. What is it? Something about being a star? You left. You're like, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not. I want to know what the lyrics are now. I used to know what they meant in English, but it's something about a star, I think. And it was just so bad. It was the middle of the night, and all of a sudden it starts playing. I'm like, no, stop. And then I had to run up and stop it. I woke up my cousin. And so I guess he was right. And he tried to be like, listen, they complain, but it's like, you know, just know that, like, the basement doesn't really have the walls covering it, so the sound travels, you know. I don't think he was super mad. I don't even think the neighbors were that mad. I was just really frustrated that I was already trying to be out of the way and it wasn't enough, and I just, this frustrating feeling of, like, I just can't exist without being a pawn, and it's still really bothering me, but I'm just gonna try and, you know, I'm comforting myself with the fact that, like, we all deal with this. It's just normal, you know. And my cousin was telling me that last night about things I was tripping out about. It's like, it's okay to trip out about these things, but you have to understand, too, that they're not the end of the world. These are just everyday things that everybody goes through all the time. Like, that's just life. It's not the end of the world. It's just life. And to be really morbid, too, I mean, people die, things change. That's just life. And it's really sucky. And there's cancer and all kinds of things. But that's just life. And the news is the news. And there's, you know, there's usually a war and a genocide going on somewhere, unfortunately. There's a lot of light and there's a lot of dark. And I guess they all have something to teach, but it's rough. And it's definitely, you know, it's hard. But you can't give up, and there are better days. And there are losses and there are wins. There's pain and suffering, and then there's the overcoming of it and great healing and stuff. And you need both. And yeah, I'm wearing my Flower of Life shirt with, I don't even know what that symbol is in the middle. I like the shirt. I had these earrings. Oh, that's not the Flower of Life. That's something else. I don't know what that is, but it's cool. It's my hippy dippy California shit. And I got my cool Cali hippie pants. And I don't know, I love this outfit.
and it's feeling like it's seeming to match the melancholy vibes out there too. So it's almost made me not want to like change out of these clothes yet, even though I really kind of want to like take a bath and use these bath bombs that I got for Christmas that I have yet to even use. I almost made a universal cootie catcher thing last night, but then I couldn't figure out how to fucking get the paper folded right and stuff. So it wasn't meant to be. But me and my friend did that once when we felt like we needed to figure out like what we were doing with our lives, and we made this cootie catcher, and it told us both like the answers we did not want to hear, and it split us up, which we really didn't want, I think, but we just listened to it anyway, because I think it was like what we didn't want to hear but knew is true. And the cootie catcher helped us just allow it, but it was really fucking hard. I don't know, there's a part of me that was just like regrets listening to it, like regrets following a stupid piece of paper, regrets not going back with her when she turned around, because she left and then she turned around, and I feel like that was my moment. That was her saying, wait, fuck it, just get in the car and we'll go together, and I just couldn't do it. I mean, I was just like, I was hurt. I was like, I wanted you to make me part of your plans, but you didn't. Your family offered you to come back and they would help you out, but there was nothing for me. I was just gonna be the mooch leech that they didn't want around. Like, I couldn't, I don't know, I was very hurt. I was really, really hurt. But I guess I kind of knew that I had to stay, and I needed to learn how to drive was something I thought, and I thought the best way to do that was with my dad, and I did, and it was good. And now I feel like it's become obsolete, and I don't even have my driver's license. I lost it. And that's why I kind of want to go back to California. It's a California license. I don't want to take another test. I just want to get that one back. And I do keep thinking too, like, oh, you know, a great place to have time all to yourself, where no one can really hear you, is in your car. I missed having a car for that. I would sing in the car a lot. It was nice. My friend told me that too. She was like, yeah, singing's hard, but when you have a car, you feel like you can sing in your car, and it's cool. And she was right. Maybe I really should go back. I've been in this huge debate of staying or going. Connecticut, California, New York, and just pinballing all three of those, like, all the time in my head. And I've kind of been doing it for, like, months now. It's exhausting. And my cousin was like, again, it's not the end of the world. You can do whatever, whenever. And I think my dad was trying to tell me too. It's just like, you know, it's understandable, but like, you're just not gonna help yourself by putting all this pressure on it. You kind of have to like realize that it's not a life or death decision. Like, yeah, maybe it's gonna affect the whole course of your life, but at the same time, like, the butterfly effect is also just like God and fate, and you can't really fight that. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, and you just gotta let it be. I don't know, it's very confusing. It's take your life by the horns, but also like let Jesus take the wheel. Like, I don't know. But I feel like, you know, they say too, fear is really loud, and your God whispers, like your heart kind of, it shouts, but it also like, is soft. The other feelings are kind of like fueled by the thoughts, I think. I don't know. But like when I quit my job, it was weird. Like I woke up and was like, fuck, I gotta go. And I hadn't had a lot of sleep. And then I realized I was early. And I was like, oh wait, I have time. I have like another 40 minutes. Chill out. And then I laid back down. And then like went to get up. And it wasn't really a loud voice. It was a soft voice that was just like, you really don't want to do this. And I was thinking about calling out sick. Because I was like, well, it's raining. It's going to be slow. Let's see who's on. Oh, they have plenty of people. I could call out sick. And then I was like, oh, I could call out sick. And then they'd probably still, like, use it against me. And I was like, I could just quit. I could just be done with that place. Because I was so over it. And it just felt like, yeah. Yeah, like, I don't like this. And I don't think this is gonna change. I don't know. But it was crazy, because it just wasn't loud. What loud was like, just go, do it, go. They're gonna think this, that. But you need the money, this, that. That was all really loud. But just a moment of feeling my body, feeling my emotions, feeling like how I really felt. I realized how much I was like pushing myself and forcing myself to do things I didn't want to do. I felt like I was bullying myself. It's just like, I physically don't want to do this. I emotionally don't want to do this. And I don't want to torture myself anymore. And all of a sudden I was just like, I don't have to torture myself. Because, like, what good really comes from that? Even if you have the money, or you have the stability, or whatever, like, what do you have if you're not happy? So I quit, and I feel like that whole process is what I need to, like, think about with my life and what to do next. But it's still really hard. I feel like kind of like right back where I started, where I'm sitting here and I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I'm pinballing these 3 places. And my job and my existence and how I'm gonna afford anything and what direction and what's good for me. It's just a lot. But I feel like I'm off the hamster wheel a little bit, and I feel like I can feel more again. And I can feel the universe more again, because I'm not just pushing myself. Not like it's dead, it's not always there, because it has been. Even when I work, I mean, I miss the train rides. Because I feel like that was always a nice moment for me, to just like think and feel the universe stuff, but I had such a crazy conversation last night too with my friend. She was pretty tipsy, but then we were just talking about like self-talk and talking to your younger self, and like trying to tell your younger self that you're perfect just the way you are, and like how hard that is.
Because, like, we do all these things to be, like, accepted and validated, and it's just, like, you gotta do it for you. Because this one guy I know is, like, thinks I should be curvier and wants me to eat more. Well, also, I think I made him feel fat, and now he wants to go to the gym more and lose weight. And then I was, like, looking for old pictures of me where I was thicker, and, like, the lack of them, because I, like, hid it, and I was ashamed of it, and now I'm, like, looking for them, like, to brag that I was. It was just, like, it all reversed, and then it was just all, like, and I'm looking at these pictures where I'm thicker, and I was insecure and felt so fat, and, like, and now feeling, like, too skinny, and it's just all, like, you know what? It's like, this is the reverse, but it's the same, because both ways you're just feeling like you're not enough, when really it's like, it doesn't matter if someone prefers you're skinnier or someone prefers you're thicker. Like, you should just feel good being you, you know? And it's just like, when is that gonna be okay? And I'm looking through all my photos, and I'm just like, when am I ever gonna be okay with myself and how I look and where my life is at, you know? It's like never enough. It's never right. And you compare with everything, and it'll never be enough. It'll never be right. There's always someone and something, and I feel like it's just like, it was just making me realize how much I wish I could just appreciate where I was in the moment. Because I'm looking at these photos, wishing I was that thicker person now with those bigger boobs, and it's just like, you hated yourself when you were that big, and all you had to do is just like yourself then. You didn't even know what you had, you know? You had great curves, but you felt too fat. And now it's like, I don't know, like, I'm not super skinny, but I'm a nice in the middle, and, you know, I think I have these wrinkles, but one day I'm going to be like, you thought you had these wrinkles also. And I don't know, it's just like, why can't I just... But I try. I'm like, oh, I have this acne, whatever. But that's kind of more like, I just get really, like, I don't know, it's crazy how much I can be like, I don't give a fuck, but I also give, like, lots of fucks. And, I don't know, and then it was just, like, with my friend, too, telling me about talking to your younger self. So you gotta go to the root, like, childhood you that was extra raw and vulnerable and fragile, and just be like, tell that young kid, you are enough. You are perfect just the way you are. And then just imagining that young me and how lost in the sauce I was then, too. It's just like, it's weird because you think you're more confident when you're young, and in a way you are. You're more confident and you're more sensitive. It's crazy. All that opposite stuff. Which brings me to that other thing that I was reminded of and then showed to my friend. It's like this 2 different charts. High vibration, low vibration, as like a hierarchy, and the other which is like circular, where it's like they're all the same and there is no good or bad emotion. There's anger, joy, grief, hurt, love, anger, like, and they're all in a circle of the human experience, and they're all of equal value of human experience and things. Ugh, I look so... Which I just like, because, you know, at the end of the day, I do treasure and cherish, like, all of my feelings, like, a lot. Like,
the anguish moments, the crying in the train moments, the curled up on the floor moments that are like precious to me, even though they're like really brutal. But I'm definitely not one of those people you'd call someone that wants to be happy all the time. Do I wish I could be happy a little more? Yeah. The depression existential crisis thing gets old. It gets really old. But at the same time, I really appreciate it too, because it forces me to really go within more. Or something. Or even just look at that puddle with those raindrops more and see like each little drop and its little ripples. That scene in Pocahontas. I lost my compass, I think. That's such a bummer. My sister got it for me. It's been hard here too, because I feel like I've gotten comfortable with this place. But it also really feels like I'm living in a life that's not mine. Like, I'm living in my cousin's house with my cousin's kids, and it's been their house forever, and I'm just in it. And they went through this divorce, and I tried to be there for their support, and I feel like they really, like, appreciate my support. But I still feel like I'm trying to be supportive. But do I fit in? I don't know. It's this is all theirs. I don't know how to exist in it. You know, it's but I feel like I fit in it better than anybody else would, and they need help too, and I need help too. Maybe I don't fit in anywhere else better right now. But it just sucks too, because it just doesn't, I just don't feel like a person. I remember crying talking about this to my dad. I was like, I just don't even feel like a person. I sleep on the couch, and I haven't even had anywhere to put my stuff since I've been here for like months now. And so I've just been hiding everything behind the couch, like I don't exist. Like, I make it try and seem like there's nobody sleeping on the couch, because, you know, I don't want to take away that sense of the living room in a house and like cleanliness, you know. I don't want to totally steal the couch away either, so I hide everything behind the couch, and it's like I don't exist, and then I have some stuff in the basement. And it's like I have one phone call, and that's a problem. But what am I gonna do? But it's like I have some money saved up. Maybe I can just bop around till I figure it out. But then I'm like, you're just gonna waste all your money doing that, else you gotta figure it out. I don't know. And this guy I've been talking to, he literally has a girlfriend. And he's just lying to her and being with me, and I keep telling him that I hate that. But we've been in a 2-week trial period because I was single, by the way, sleeping around, so he doesn't trust me. So I had to take 2 weeks to like behave, and but he's funny and he's cool, but he reminds me of my ex, which is insane because they're so different and yet he's so similar. And how they like mess with me and are really hypocritical, and yet it's such a mirror. For me too, but and it's funny too, I was randomly talking with my friend about Janelle Monáe, and we were like, what's her birthday? And I was like, I'm pretty sure she's a Sag. I remember all my Saggies now because of my ex being a Sag. And then she has the same birthday as this other guy, the one that was the girlfriend. He's Mexican, he lives in the Bronx. And we were talking about hanging out Friday, tomorrow, possibly, which is funny because his friend wants to take me out on a date also tomorrow, possibly. Bro, I could get into that story, but I almost just don't feel like it, because I feel like I was going somewhere else with this. Oh yeah, I'm just feeling like I should shower and shave my legs and get all primed up for it, but then I'm also just like, ugh, this just feels like this other feeling of me trying to like make myself look good for someone else. But it sucks because I feel like I can't do it for myself. I only do it for other people. It's so frustrating. But I've also been like kind of stir crazy, and I want to go out, and my train ticket's about to expire for the city. I want to go, and I just want to drink some mezcal and have fun. Oh my god. And he makes me laugh. I was like sad, and like I was like, talk to me, and then he calls me, and then I don't answer because I have to step outside, first, and then so I call him back, and he just answers the phone and says, hello, this is the blah 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 restaurant we used to work at together. Sorry, we're closed. Because we were called like bar, I'm not even gonna say it. I don't like put them out there like that, but it was funny because they called a bar, but they close at 9. It's just like, what? And I don't know. And then he just said that as soon as I answered the phone, and I just thought it was really funny, and he just makes me laugh. He's crazy, and I'm crazy, and it's all crazy, and I'm like, you should let me move in. He was all like, have you considered this? Have you considered that? And I was like, have you considered me moving in with you? And he was like, if I'm not just an option. And the whole thing's a fucking mess, man. My whole life's a fucking mess. I got this other guy messaging me because he does film stuff, and I've known him since a long time, but just and we're supposed to go on a hike next week, maybe. And it's like, I could be like, I'm so popular, but I don't feel popular. And my ex fucking messaged me on St. Patrick's Day, are you hacked? And I have a thing with that day. And I just messaged back, I hope not, blah blah blah, this happened, I lost my phone, I got locked out of Facebook, but I got it back. And it was crazy because I was blocked. So I was just like, how does he... It makes me feel like he checks up on me too, and he still thinks about me. Because I'm always convinced that he erased me, But I guess you don't block someone you've already erased, have you? Because you wouldn't need to. And it was funny because that day that I saw the message, this is becoming really hard to follow. I'm sorry. Trust me, I get it. It's hard for me. And I'm in it. Like that day I went on Instagram and decided to like look at the stories I had, and I never do stories, but I had two, and one of them was him, and I was just like, and then I just sent him the picture because I thought he would think it was funny, and he hearted it last night, and it's such a stupid thing. It's so funny because it's just like, it's the tiniest little thing. It's just, he didn't even say anything. He just hearted a picture. But it's such a big deal. I know it's a big deal, but it's not, but it is. And then it's like, here I go again in this world of like, should I say something? Is he gonna say something? And this has been just so never ending. Even when I let him go, it's just always there in the back of my head. It's always there. It's always there. It's just him. And I can't let it go, and I get drunk and I talk about him and I show pictures of him. And I'll randomly see his fucking time. But it's funny because I used to do that with this other guy. And it wasn't even his birthday. I just thought it was, and I kept seeing that time. So it's just like, you make yourself crazy. It's like, I don't know what else to do with it. The random music I'm hearing the neighbor play upstairs right now is tripping me out. It just keeps being like, I don't know, everything is feeling very universally in sync, and it's tripping me out. It's all you always knew, that you don't know what you got till it's gone. Sorry, I was like listening to it. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm like listening to them neighbor's radio. Everything's okay. I'm emotional, but it's not the end of the world. It's cool. Anyways, I don't know how to conclude this. Is there anything else I kind of want to say for my own memory of this journal entry thing? It was funny because I tripped out, kind of. I was gonna, like, make food and more coffee, and then the cat just laid in my lap, so I couldn't move because the cat laid in my lap. And I was like, oh, kitty, laying in my lap, oh. And then I was like, what to a cat? And, my regular tarot people didn't have any new Aries, but they had Sagittarius, and then I was like, oh my god, and Sam hearted my picture last night, and I was just like, what am I doing? And this guy I'm talking to is the day before his birthday, and what's going on? And I just had to click on a Sagittarius reading, and I listened to this one that was like, something's returning, and I was like, oh my god, is it me, is it us? And then I went on this other one that got more in depth, but that one was more like, you need to let this thing go. But they kept saying in the end, like, there's a shooting star, like a wish come true, this shooting star person. And it just reminded me of this poem that I wrote where I was talking about me and my ex, and I referred to myself as a shooting star, and how he said he didn't love me anymore, but I didn't believe him. How did I end it? I don't remember. Trying to find that feeling again, I guess. And in the end, you know, she's talking about this shooting star person and this wish fulfillment. And it gave me hope, even though most of it was talking about letting somebody go. I was like, am I that person, or am I the shooting star person? I don't know. What if I'm... And it's like, I'm overthinking it. I know. But in the end, like, I was just holding onto that shooting star thing, though. And that mention at the end kind of thing. And then my neighbor, I just heard this, hey, now you're an all-star. And I remembered him liking that song, even though it was really corny. Like, I associated that song with him and Shrek, and just that being funny. And then I had a weird moment with that song too, once where me and my friends were talking about that song, and then, like, the singer died the next day. But, like, and then I didn't even realize, like, and then I remember thinking in my head, wait, does this song have a shooting star in it? Oh yeah, it does. Not all that glitters is gold, only shooting stars break the mold. And then I was like, yeah, shooting star, break the mold. I don't know. That has just tripped me out. Everything's just tripping me out. It's just like, the problem is I'm trying way too hard to figure it all out, and I've done this so much, where I just try way too hard to figure things out when you just gotta let it be. And I think part of the problem too is I'm not focusing enough on me. I'm focusing on everybody else and how my life pertains to it with everybody else. Because I don't like focusing on me, and I don't like being alone. And alone, I don't know what to do with myself. And there's no validation, there's no nothing. It's just me lost in the sauce. But I just get lost in everybody else doing the everybody else thing, so. I think I'm just gonna try and focus on being happy or something. I'm gonna take it one step at a time, I guess. It's a good phrase. That one is close to my heart also. Anyways, so I think I'll end it at that. One step at a time. Happy eclipse season. I guess I can't wink. I don't know. Someone told me that, and now I'm like, can I not wink?